4 years ago, I started my design journey, and I was 16 years old. This was in February of 2021. I was a 16-year-old boy who had just found a skill, and I decided to just risk it and just put in my last card. I had 1,000 naira on me. My sister had sent the 1,000 naira to me, so I could use it to buy belt at the time. But then I found this queue and I decided to risk it and just pay this 1,000 naira for a random class I found through Facebook sponsored ad. And that became the beginning of a journey that completely transformed my life, because from there I connected with people, I got more exposed, and I began to leverage on social media to change my life and also transform the lives of other persons. And so this month, February 2025, makes it exactly 4 years that I started this journey. And in this video, I just want to share with you 5 lessons, about 4 lessons. Let's make it 4 so that it can actually, I'm currently with my other phone here, and there are a couple of things I want to share that I'm going to be sharing. I had to just write them down so that I don't forget. I had to just highlight them, right? So in case you just see me looking down, you might want to you now know why I might look down a couple of times just to pick the points, because this is a very important thing. This is very important to me, and I just want to be sure that what I'm sharing are things that I am not just guessing, but there are things that have really transformed my life. 4 years as a graphic designer, and these are 4 life-changing lessons that will transform the life of anybody, especially graphic designers. Whether you're a newbie, whether you're an intermediate, maybe even if you're an expert, you are going to pick a couple of things from here that would also help you. The first thing I have here is the right mentorship will actually help you grow very fast and grow well. Right, this is one thing I wish somebody had told me earlier when I started my design journey. I wish somebody actually told me that, you know what, as you want to start your design journey right now, you need the right mentorship. I told you that my first encounter with graphic design was a paid class. That class I saw through the Facebook sponsored post, whose the price was 1,000 naira. Eventually we had to pay another, I think 35 again though, but the money I paid was 1,000 naira initially. That was what just launched me into the whole thing. And one thing, even though the class was in a way helpful, right, because at least the class was the one that actually made me passionate. It helped me develop passion for graphic design, right, genuine passion. Because I just came in because it felt nice. It felt like, okay, there was money in this thing, and then that class actually made me develop passion for it, and actually I began to like graphic design from there. But even at that was not the right coach. Honestly, that was not the right coach for me at the time, and now I know better, because he actually did not teach us anything. Even the video that he gave us was another person's YouTube video that we had to replicate. So it wasn't like he recorded tutorials by himself. He didn't put in the effort to actually train us and actually build us, right? But I'm saying that one lesson, the first lesson I have here that would change your life, help you grow really well and grow really fast as a graphic designer, is the right mentorship. And I can say this because I have personally trained people, and at the same time I have also been trained by a lot of persons. One thing I never hold back from is growth. If you know me so well, if you've been a part of my WhatsApp community, because that's like my intimate community, and I have a lot of people there, one thing that any of them would be able to say about me is the fact that I am a very rugged guy when it comes to growth. I am very dogged about growth. Like, I don't joke with growth at all. And so over these years, I've paid a lot of money. Like, I've spent a lot of money buying courses, paying for mentorships, paying for classes, and just learning and just building myself. And this is one thing I can say helped me grow really well and grow really fast. And the interesting thing is that I actually did not even start taking mentorship seriously at the initial stage of my design, right? Because after this class I said I took, I don't think I paid for any other class, or I don't think I actually enroll for any other design class up until August of that 2021, right? So for like 6 months I was just practicing on my own. Maybe I've forgotten now. I can't remember exactly, but I think I registered for a couple of free classes, right? But then I didn't register for any class, right? I didn't really invest my energy, my resources in paid classes, right? I think I bought I think I bought a few courses. I've forgotten now. I can't remember exactly. But one thing that I wish I took, I've always been very, very serious about mentorship. But like at least for like the first 6 months, first 5 months of my design journey, if I had just doubled down on just on intense mentorship, I definitely would have grown faster than I did. Even though I still grew fast, and I grew so well. And this is one thing I would recommend. The right mentorship might just be the game changer that you've actually been praying for or that you've been hoping for. And when I say the right mentorship, it's not just the right mentorship as far as design is concerned, even when it comes to other aspects of design. Don't worry, I'm going to get there. I'm going to get when I said other aspect just now, a particular aspect came to my mind, which is the monetization. But don't worry, I will get there even in one of the 3 points that I left. The second point I have here is you can't grow in isolation. Join communities. See, this will help you to constantly update yourself and constantly grow. See, one of the reasons why I'm also big on mentorship is that many times, right, the right mentorship will open you up to the right communities. Many times, it may not be every time, but there are many times the right mentorship, when you are mentored by the right person, or when you are coached, it might not be mentorship per se, it might be coaching, right? When I say right mentorship in the first point, it might not be mentorship as in, mentorship is one big thing if you look at it critically. So it might not be right mentorship. I really cannot say I have a mentor, right? But I have different coaches, right? So it can be the right coaching in your own case. It might not be the right mentorship. If you find a good mentor, that's very great. But if coach, right, as much as possible, invest in getting the right coaches to train you, right? But I'm saying that many times the right coaching will actually lead you to the right communities. For example, now I have trained a couple of designers. I've trained a lot of designers actually. Let me not try and be humble about it. I've trained a lot, and one thing you would discover is that I have design communities, right? So let's see, for example, now my course, right, my self-paced course. I have a self-paced course that I've been gotten by over 500 people, and one thing I do is that I've always done right from the beginning when I created the course some years back, is that there was a community. So when you get the course, you become a part of the community automatically. And one thing many of them will be able to say is that the community has actually helped them, because the community there are many people that have connected with each other from the community, many relationships that have been built from the community, many collaborations that have been created through the community, many bonds that have been formed through the community, right? And many growth that has been established through the community. And that's one thing about communities, the right community. So where you can easily rub minds. There are times when people drop their designs and then people correct the designs. That is one thing you get in the community. So it helps your growth so well. At the same time too, it helps you to actually also get updated about the changes and trends that are happening maybe in the design space. So you know what is in vogue, you know what is trending, you know the effect that is trending, you know how you can you learn new effect, new things, how people, different perspective to design that you can actually learn from, and then engage some of them in your own design. And eventually you realize that, okay, you just keep getting better, you just keep learning, you just keep growing. That's one thing that the right community provide. I've heard that join communities so you are not left out of trends, changes, update and opportunities. That is one thing that the right community opens you up to. Like, this can never even be overemphasized, opportunities. Because even when it comes to clients, right, there are some of my students, some of my people, right, that have reached out to me, and from one of my communities, one or two of one that's even come to my mind was one of a student that registered for my mentorship class. I think that was in 2024. No, I think that was in 2023, right? And then there was one of my other communities. This was not even a design community. This was SOSW, Start on LinkedIn webinar community with over 2,000 members. I organized an online webinar that was in 2023 on around LinkedIn, how people can start out and start on LinkedIn, blah blah blah. And so the guy has remained in that community, and I think we still have over 2,000 members in that community right now. And the guy was the one that sent a testimonial to me out that a member of that community, someone in that community, is not a very active community though, but then a random person just dropped a job application in that community, a design job application, and then my student said he saw it, right? He saw the job application, he applied, and he got the job. And I don't know if he's still currently working with them, but I know he worked with them for a couple of months before I left the online space, right? So I really don't know about now. I don't know if he's still working with them currently, but he worked with them, and it was a salary-based job. So he worked with them for a couple of months. I'm sure of that, right? And he was being paid. The pay was actually, it's a pay that I was very, very satisfied with. So the pay was actually awesome. And then the growth too, because now he had the opportunity to work with a brand where he's getting paid. That was possible because he was in a community, though in this case not a design community. But even at that, there are many design communities. For example, now even my own design community, there are times where people drop job application, people share job applications. I've personally shared job applications there. I've personally referred some of my students for jobs, right? I mean, even for retainer gigs, I've referred some of my students, not just in my self-paced course, maybe even in my master class, like just my students generally, I just refer them and all of that. So that is one thing you get in the right community. So as much as possible, join the right community, join the right communities. You cannot grow in isolation. That's the point. You can't grow don't think, I'm just a graphic designer, I just want to be on my own, I just want to grow alone. You cannot grow in isolation. Take it from me. The third one I have here is get courses. Constantly chase knowledge and growth. This is similar to mentorship, but it is different, right? It is different in a way. When I say right mentorship, a mentor is most likely a person, and that's why I said coaching. I think that coaching I think this is where the point is, right? This is where let me bring that here. Yeah. So get courses, constantly pursue knowledge. The point here is knowledge. You may not even have to spend money. That's the thing, right? You may not even have to spend money, but constantly chase knowledge. Okay, for example, now my YouTube channel, I used to drop design tutorials. Like I've dropped a lot of design tutorials on this channel, and then there are so many thousands and tens of thousands of persons have been helped through this channel. They've learned new things, they've updated their knowledge, they've grown just because of my channel, right? I mean, they are learning for free on this channel, but it was possible for them to learn that because of their because they constantly invested in knowledge, they constantly chase knowledge, right? So people that came to my channel and then they are learning from it and then they watch my videos, that is them pursuing knowledge. It doesn't have to be my channel. There are so many other YouTube channels that you can always learn from them. The point here is constantly pursue knowledge, chase after knowledge, right? Now, chase after knowledge. When I say chase after knowledge, don't just accumulate knowledge. So when I say chase knowledge, I'm not saying go and start accumulating knowledge without using them. As you are learning, be using. That's the point. As you are learning, be using. As you are learning, be using. As you are learning, be practicing. So that you don't just think you have it on your head, but that you can effectively convert that to action, so that you can actually really learn, because you've not learned until you do. So I'm not saying start wasting your money buying courses up and down. If you buy a course that you would not practice, if you buy a course that you would not engage, you've successfully wasted your money. If you spend your money 10,000, 5,000, 15,000, 100,000, 1 million on a course and you did not engage the course, you've wasted your money. That's it. It's that simple. You successfully wasted your money. So practice and engage. And then the last point I have here is you can be very skilled. I'm talking about 4 life-changing lessons I've learned in this my 4 years. I mean, there are more and more lessons, but I have to just summarize it today. I have to just summarize it to this 4. The last one I have here, the fourth, is you can be very skilled and yet very broke. You can be very skilled and very broke. When I teach my students, you can check the description box below. I have a particular recently I began to allow people to buy the recordings of my master class. It's different from my self-paced course. And one thing I always tell my students in my master class, my mentorship class, is that you can be very skilled. Like you can have the skill, you can be a very good designer, yet you are very broke. Because there is design and there is business of design. You can know design, right? You can be a very good designer. You can know the design principles, visual elements. You can know a lot of things around design. Hierarchy, repetition, all of the rules, right? You can combine elements together. You know how to create fire backgrounds. You know how to create amazing layout, unique layout. You can know how to do all of that and still be very broke. That's the point, because the rules that are guiding design are different from the rules that are guiding the business of design. The business of design, it is business, only that this time around we are talking about business as it applies to design, but it is business. So if you don't understand how to run a business, if you don't understand how business works, you can be very skilled and yet you would not be making the money, right? You can be very skilled and yet very broke. So as you are learning graphic design, also devote time to actually learning the business of design. But all of these things are things that you will get from the right mentorship anyways. That's why I started with the right mentorship. If you have the right mentor, the person will be able to guide you on not just design but also the business of designs, like I do in my own mentorship class. I mean, currently I'm not organizing any class anyways. I mean, currently at the time that I'm creating this video, this is February of this is 2025, right? So I'm not organizing any class because I'm off all of that, right? But then you can still get the recordings of the last class. It's a 10 weeks mentorship class, and then the link will be in the description box below. So I'll get it as soon as possible before I bring it down. So as much as possible, ensure that you get the right mentorship. In my own mentorship class, if you check the link below, you can actually go through the curriculum. It actually was a 10-week class. You get access to all the recordings of the week by week, right? And then one thing you realize is that I taught design, I taught the business of design, I even taught content creation, I taught how to create content as a designer. All of these are things that you will learn from the right mentorship, from the right mentor. So as much as possible, ensure that you commit to mentorship, the right mentorship. It will help you grow fast and grow so well. The second one, ensure that you join the right communities. You can't grow in isolation. The right mentorship will also help you and lead you to the right communities. The fourth one is constantly chase knowledge and growth. See, understand the fact that you cannot know enough. You cannot know everything you need to know. There is somebody that knows what you don't know, and as long as there is that person, it means that there is something that you have to still learn so that you can know. The last one is you can be very skilled and very broke. Have this at the back of your mind and let this inform every of the decisions that you'll be making, so that you will not think that, I'm very good, I've been learning design all my life, I've been a designer for 4 years, I've been a designer for 6 years, and yet I don't get client. I'm telling you now that you can be very skilled and yet very broke. There are different principles that guide all of these things. Design is on its own, business is on its own. Learn how to run a business, learn how business works, advertisement and all of that, and then you'll be a good master at both design and even the business of design. Let me know if this helped you in the comment section. If you are new to this channel, do where to hit the like button, do where to hit the subscribe button, so that you do not miss out on any content from this channel, and also turn on your notification bell, because I have so many amazing content coming your way. I will see you in the next one. See you in the next one.